John Cena! Your time is up, my time is now. You can't see me, my time is now.
Hi, Six Snipes here. I know it's been forever since I've made one of these, and I'd wager that 80% of my subscribers now aren't even aware that this was a series, but looking back at my earlier videos, I realized that I had a lot of good content going with this, and I had no reason to put it down except for me being really lazy. Ever since I've had a lot of domination loadouts that were highly effective, and to be perfectly honest, it's high time that I shared one of these with you guys. Taking full advantage of the latest skins and gadgets to touch an older gun, I'm Six Snipes, and I do loadouts. I was scrounging around for ideas and arsenals, and I decided that, hey, I haven't really capitalized on the new excellent camouflage skins, so let's maybe make a build around that. Forget about the qualities of the new security Sasquatch skin, which unlike the ghillie suit can actually change the color of its foliage. The fact that we have a very high quality print of forest backdrop on some of the more marksman intensive weapons is insanely cool. Not to mention, cool factor aside, it is effectively impossible to pick you out using both at a lengthy range. I thought to myself, I'll just build a loadout off of this, and deciding to go with a more exotic pick for the rifle, I opted to field the Scar. And having not really touched the Scar since before the new update, I have to admit some of the new gadgets are more than just helpful. In fact, looking back at my gun guide for this very weapon, probably my biggest complaint is this gun can't decide what it wants to be. The weakest aspect of the Scar is perhaps that while possessing the barrel length and form of the Ace 52, it has none of the inherent advantages, with fire rate, penetration, and velocity being on the relatively lower side.
I'm better than you, my shape up better, my car faster, my drip better, my clothes fit better, my hoes better, my tattoos better, I'm stronger than you, my bitch thicker than yours, my gun's bigger than yours, nigga, my gun's bigger than yours, I talk better than you, I hustle better, I can get $1 quicker than you, I talk better, I walk better, my shoes fit me better, I get paid more than you, my crew with me.
Because of this, it has all the disadvantages of being a long gun in close quarters, but none of the pluses for having that little extra range effectiveness. In short, it's a much cheaper Tavor Ace without any of the niceties. Before, it really didn't feel like there was a proper way to address the fact that this gun is almost trying to be both a standardized rifleman implement and a sniper rifle in the hands of an advisor. Right up until now, because the key customization feature implemented in Operation Cold Blood would of course be dual optic capabilities, meaning you now have the ability to adjust the magnification of many scopes or even change to separate optics on others.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Naturally, the SU-230 bus is the greatest thing to happen to the Scar since Fortnite. Come on guys, you know I was gonna make that joke. The ability to switch between a 4x and 0 magnification holographic optic in the blink of an eye really allows you to hold the most incredible sightlines without being concerned with what's pushing outside of your range. In fact, the more you use this, you'll realize there's no such thing. For this build, the convenient part about the Scar is that, unlike the other 308 Advisor rifles, it has the benefits of 1 to 2 torso shotting literally any target at intermediate ranges without the harmful price tag. It's the same cost as an AK, as a matter of fact.
Ha!
Utilize the extended magazine for another 2 credits, and in my mind, you basically are using something way better than your standard M4 for the same price. Not having to suffer from less than standard capacity meets having all ranges covered, and this gun has never worked this well. I have had some crazy defenses utilizing this weapon, and while for this video I initially expected to be the guy being a bush monster and a general annoyance, I couldn't help myself from stealing objectives and denying tens of people from pushing points over the course of entire games instead. The area denial you're capable of firing at 600 RPM with a one-shot rifle and dual range optic is utterly insane. My exact loadout looks like a Scar with either of the top marked double optics, ACOG or SU, on top of an extended magazine, flash hider, and foregrip bipod because I've never really made use of the attachment and wanted to see if I could. Throw in my very default P226, interchangeable with the Beretta because in practice they're going to be the same gun 99% of the time, and with access to both it's really down to visual preference. Aside from that, the secondary and items such as grenades and gas mask were interchangeable as I like to experiment with what works best, but the consensus was I didn't need more than one flashbang. The important part is the gun. The same, however, cannot be said for the light carrier and backpack. They, like the gun, are a constant factor in both this video and, for them, all of my builds. And the product that is this build is one meant to chase kills. This is a fragger to the core. The DPS with the scar is uncharacteristic and shows up any of the guns firing even relatively close to the same RPM. Because the AK can dish out as much as it wants, at the end of the day your bullet is way bigger and comes out just as fast. Meanwhile, being aggressive is highly achievable in virtually every map. This is not a limited build where range or close quarters acts as a hindrance. The gun is usable just about anywhere so long as you know not to hug your corners, and if you need to lay low, the camo is literally the best option for making sure nobody finds you in your spot for a good long while. Combining that hiding part with the bipod lets you get cheeky kills and subtracts the factor of the already minimal recoil you're experiencing from also having a grip in a standing position. Be mindful of your exposure and turn radius, and you're set to start blazing with this thing. Once you really comprehend the potency of a build that can achieve the highest level of guerrilla warfare, pushing hard and retreating into the brush, you may start to see why the title is what it is. Wait, don't start playing that music. Now, defensively speaking, I think this gun shines best, but that's always been my preferred role. It's lazy in a sense because you can try to run across the street and get shot capturing a point, or you can just let the enemies come to you. Many of the new players as of the free weekend may call this camping, but seeing as I'm sitting and defending a point maker, I call it playing the objective. Overall, it is no exaggeration for me to tell you that this is the best I've done with anything in a long time. I think revisiting some of the older guns I've covered and really looking at how new attachments and features are changing them is a habit I can get into. And the next episode will be one of your ideas, so don't miss out on commenting down below with yours for what crazy thing I can make in Domination. But until then, thanks for watching all the way through. I'm SixSnipes, and I make loadouts, and there's not a chance in hell you're gonna see me hiding in this bush.